Well, we made it through move-in day of Super Bowl week. The Denver Broncos and Carolina Panthers both arrived in San Jose Sunday late evening. Both teams settling into their hotels. Now, right behind me is San Francisco. That's where most of the NFL media are staying. A lot of the fans. There's big parties going on. There's the NFL experience that's happening right in the middle of the city. But the Carolina Panthers players say, look, they've only taken it one day at a time all season long, and they want to continue to do so. They think that will be the formula to success for winning Super Bowl 50.
You got to realize, it's obviously it's the Super Bowl and it's a great experience and it's where we wanted to be, but the way you got to treat it is just like every other game is, you prepare the same way, you practice the same way, you get ready the same way, and you really just treat it the same way.
You can't get caught up in the fact that we're going to the Super Bowl and forget that we got to go play. We're not just going. We're going to win, and so our approach and everything. You can't let all the outside stuff kind of cloud that.
Coach has a saying, you don't have to be prepared to play today nor tomorrow, but you have to be prepared to play on Sunday. So that's kind of been our philosophy, and staying in the same groove and the process, and hopefully that it carries over to the game.
Now, the first significant media event will take place this evening. It will be called the opening night. It's going to take the place of the old media day, which used to be on Tuesday afternoon, but it's still going to be the same format. Lots of journalists, some dressed up, some asking crazy questions, but now they're allowing fans to buy tickets. They'll have radios they can tune in to see specific booths and players that they want to hear answer those questions. We will certainly be there, and we'll get it all covered for you later this evening. Now, coming up on News Channel 12 at 5:30 and 6, we're going to take a look at the Panthers as they prepare for Peyton Manning, the old guard, one of the most respected players in the NFL. In San Francisco, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12 this morning. Well, we survived the Super Bowl opening night. The old media day featured about 5,000 reporters, and we use that term loosely, who were asking all the players from both teams everything from serious journalistic questions to the not so serious. The Panthers taking it all in stride, some having fun, some keeping the big picture in mind.
We try to stay away from the glitz and the glamour. That's not really us, and go back to having fun, in our own little world. But again, we know what we're required to do, and you got to know you can get lost in the sauce.
The NFL is about entertainment. When you look at a game, you look at the cheerleaders, the fireworks, the glitz and glamour of the game. Obviously, football is going to be football, but this is what brings the fans in. This is what ties the fans to the players. This is how it's done. Social media, the media. And that's what makes it a lot of fun, is because everyone can have a bit and piece and be a part of this ride along with their team.
Hey, I'm all about the energy. It's always fun with me. You're going to get a lot of fun out of me all day, every day, and that's what this team is about. We have fun together. We go out, we play on one accord, 53 guys out there smiling. You all see the crazy pictures and everything. We have fun doing what we do, and I think that's what separates us from everyone else.
No, I've never been through this before. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for somebody who's been here for the first time. I'm just enjoying everything and enjoying the festivities, but still trying to focus on my job.
When it comes down to it, we're here to win a game. So after this is all done, we'll go back to the hotel and refocus and get back to our regular practice week and be ready to play by Sunday.
It's the first time the NFL has ever sold tickets to that event, and certainly the fans seem to enjoy it. But now things get a little more serious for the Carolina Panthers. They return to practice this afternoon when they head back to San Jose State University to get in their workouts without the media watching. And then it's another media obligation. That's where Ron Rivera and 10 of his players will sit and ask a few more serious questions, and maybe we'll get a few more answers about the game plan against those Denver Broncos heading into Super Bowl 50. We'll certainly have it all covered for you all afternoon and all evening long. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12 this morning. Well, this is the Panthers' home away from home for the next week. It's San Jose State University. That's Spartan Stadium. That's where the Cats are going to practice every day from 10 to 3 Pacific. That's 1 to 6 Eastern. They're going to use the practice fields, the weightlifting facilities, anything they can do to get ready and get their game plan together for Super Bowl 50. Now, head coach Ron Rivera, no stranger to Super Bowls. He played with the '85 Bears when they won it all, and he also was the defensive coordinator for the Bears when they lost to the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. Rivera had kind of a rocky start to his head coaching career, but he's won 22 of his last 24 games with Carolina. He says it's all just been part of the process.
It's very gratifying because of the fans. It's been 5 years. They've stuck with me. They let me know about it early on. but then they've been very supportive and very respectful. I appreciate that. They've learned. They really have. I mean, this team's only 21 years old, and so we're really starting to get our own homegrown fans. And they're really coming out in droves. They've been tremendous.
Expect Rivera to be named the NFL Coach of the Year when those awards come out Saturday night. Your MVP could be Cam Newton. We're going to hear from the Panthers quarterback coming up on News Channel 12 at 6. He's going to discuss the process he's gone through this year to become a potential MVP candidate. In San Jose, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the Carolina Panthers are practicing this whole week right here, San Jose State University. That is Spartan Stadium. That's where the Panthers will try to get their game plan together. A big part of that, obviously, is going to be Cam Newton. The former Heisman Trophy winner has won a junior college national title. Then he won a national title with Auburn. Now he's trying to pull the trifecta with the NFL title, the Super Bowl. Now, when asked recently when he thought this team could be a Super Bowl contender, Cam Newton says it was just last week.
Truth of the matter is, you don't win the Super Bowl until you're in the Super Bowl. You got to get to the playoffs, and it's a whole process. And Coach said it since day one. He said, don't necessarily look to the light. Look to the journey that's taking you to the light. And using the analogy, looking down the tunnel and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. For us, we tried to make the most of each and every opportunity that we get. Dating back from week 1, we played Jacksonville, to mid-season when we played the Seahawks. And it's been whispers, it's been murmurs of we have opportunity to play in the Super Bowl. But the truth of the matter is we didn't until we won and put ourselves in this situation that we have today.
Now, the quarterback Cam will be going against on Super Bowl Sunday, Peyton Manning. No stranger to NFL title games. This will be his 4th appearance. He's won once. And the Panther players, well, some of them are in awe about taking on number 18. We'll hear from them coming up a little bit later in sports. In San Jose, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the Panthers enjoying an off day, trying to get over last night's Super Bowl opening night. They did not practice, but 10 members of the team did show up to a press junket here at the Convention Center in San Jose, right next to the team hotel. Cam Newton certainly an attraction again, and he was clarifying that statement that he made last week that became so famous.
When you ask me a question about African American or being black and mobile, is bigger than that. Because when I go places and I talk to kids and I talk to parents and I talk to athletes all over, and they look at my story and they see a person, African American or not, they see something that they can relate to. Yeah, I made mistakes. I just want to become relatable, you know what I'm saying? And it's bigger than race. It's more so of opening up a door for guys that don't want to be labeled. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give all those people hope.
Newton certainly making his name known this Super Bowl week. Also, head coach Ron Rivera. He grew up not far from here in California. We're going to hear from him about this kind of happy homecoming, coming full circle, so to speak, a little bit later in sports. In San Jose, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12.
It's good to see you.
One of the more famous landmarks in San Francisco is Alcatraz. That was the infamous prison that was opened from 1934 to 1963. It housed some of the most dangerous criminals around. Now, the Carolina Panthers, they're not dangerous criminals, but their secondary is nicknamed the Thieves, led by Josh Norman. This group is hoping to take advantage of Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl.
It's about, turnovers, takeaways, stealing the ball from opposing offenses, and that's what we do. It's thievery. Thievery travels. Thievery is a way of life. And right now, we're thieving at an ultimate high.
They've been calling us that since early in the fall, and it just stuck. And then we just took it to the field, and just made plays, and then ultimately that became our label.
Yeah, only on the field. We only take on the field. And right now, we're getting better and better, and we hope to, keep the thievery going Sunday.
We actually went to didn't we see Alcatraz yesterday? We went to see Alcatraz yesterday.
Did you really?
We did.
They didn't keep you.
Thievery travels, so yes, no. They didn't keep us. But it was a great sight.
Our DB core is so funny, man. They're a tight-knit group, and they honestly crack me up. They're some good dudes, and they have fun with it. I think it's hilarious.
Welcome to Thieves Avenue.
Well, whoever steals the ball the most during Super Bowl 50 will probably be the winner of the game. You've got the two ranked defenses in the NFL with the Broncos #1 and the Panthers #2. So we'll see who takes advantage of the turnovers coming up on Super Bowl Sunday. In San Francisco, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the preparations continue at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. You look right back there, you see the Panthers Keep Pounding sign. That's been their mantra not only this year, but for the past 12 years. The last time Carolina made it to a Super Bowl, they were inspired by their linebackers coach Sam Mills Jr., who had cancer. He would end up dying from the disease in 2005, but the words he said that postseason, keep pounding, they live on.
It means never quit. You gotta keep going. When this get tough, you just gotta keep maintaining what you're doing. Don't stop. Don't let nothing get in your way, and keep it straight out forward. Stay focused, man. Keep pounding.
I believe our sole purpose is to inspire. So when you're going through struggles and stuff like that, that's an opportunity for you to overcome something. To show people that when you're in a slump. When the odds are against you, when your back is against the wall, you show them that you can keep pounding.
Where it came from really is, it started years and years ago before my father even became ill. It started coming out of college when he was told he couldn't play and, trying out for different teams, the Canadian Football League, the Cleveland Browns, and finally getting that opportunity that you needed and telling guys, no matter what anyone says, just keep going.
Well, Panthers owner Jerry Richardson, he has kept pounding as well. He had a heart transplant in 2009, and now he's hoping to win the first Super Bowl title in franchise history that's been going strong for 21 years. We'll have more on Mr. Richardson coming up tonight on News Channel 12 at 5:30 and 6. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12 this morning. Well, we're getting to that point of Super Bowl week where more fans are starting to show up, and Panthers owner Jerry Richardson certainly contributing to that. He's paying for every one of his employees to come here to San Jose, California to watch Super Bowl 50 on Sunday. Richardson, the 79-year-old, certainly has a lot of love for his employees in the Carolinas. He was born in Fayetteville and went to school at Terry Sanford High School, played college at Wofford, broke all sorts of receiving records there, played 2 years in the NFL, and used his bonus check of playing in the 1959 NFL championship game to start a Hardy franchise, and then from there he's become a multi-millionaire. Now, Richardson rarely talks to the media, but his players certainly doing the talking for him this week, and they say they want to win this Super Bowl trophy for him.
I couldn't think of a greater reason of actually getting it done. It's one of those things that's the real reason why I'm so excited to be in this position, because as a football player who's been given so much, it's something that you want to do for him. I want to be a part of the group, a part of that team that was able to give him that trophy and put a ring on his finger.
He ride around on his cart, man, talk to the guy, interact with the guys, and make sure he shake many hands as he can.
These guys, they don't want to let him down, and it's, it hasn't changed when I play. He would walk through the locker room before the game, talk to you.
He expects people to be treated the right way, regardless if you're a player, you're a coach, you work upstairs, you work in the lunchroom. Everyone deserves to be treated the right way, and he expects everyone to work.
And he played in the NFL. He got out of the league, made a lot of money, great business decisions. Things like that really goes a long way, not only just picking his brain and listening to him, but the man is successful on and off the field. And you love to implement yourself or try and, pattern yourself after a guy like that.
I've actually had the opportunity to play for some pretty incredible owners in my career, and when you get an owner like Mr. Richardson, you want to win. Obviously we all want to win for ourselves and each other, but you want to win for him, and you want to bring to see that smile on his face will be something special.
Well, Richardson, who had a heart transplant in 2009 and will turn 80 this summer, certainly will be all smiles if he can get his hands on that Lombardi trophy this Sunday. It would be the first time in his long, illustrious career in the NFL. Now, another legend was in the house this afternoon. Snoop Dogg crashed the media session in San Jose. We'll show you what the players thought of that coming up a little bit later in sports. In San Jose, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the players held their last media session of Super Bowl week, and the players certainly getting that game plan together as they practice again at San Jose State University. One of the big keys to the game is going to be the Panthers' offensive line trying to stop the #1 ranked defense in the NFL. The left side, the blind side, of course, anchored by Michael Orr, the well-known offensive lineman who had a movie made about him, certainly taking this weekend and enjoying all the things his celebrity has to offer.
It inspired so many people. It inspired a lot of people, motivated a lot of people. So, I have to realize that it's helping people, get out of certain situations. So, of course, I look at it a little different. The guys on my team, I still look at them in awe every day. Like I'm playing with those guys and stuff like that. So, growing up, I was a big fan of, sports and stuff like that. So. And just the road that I had to travel anyway, I'm going to always be, shocked to see somebody.
One of the benefits of having a movie made about you, people like Snoop Dogg want to talk to you. Snoop, a member of the media today, talking with Orr and several of the Panther players. That had them all excited. We'll hear about that coming up on News Channel 12 at 6 in sports. Also on News Channel 12 at 6, we're going to talk about Panthers owner Jerry Richardson, the only owner the team has ever had, 79 years young, and we hear how much the players really want to win this Super Bowl for Mr. Richardson. In San Jose, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, we're about 2.5 days away from kickoff of Super Bowl 50, and the Carolina Panthers are now into bunker mentality. They held their last media session on Thursday, and it was a little bit more of a jovial session when Snoop Dogg showed up. He was interviewing some of the players for a rival network, and the players, they were glad to see the Dog Father. Was that like the highlight of your week so far?
Yes. And it was because I didn't know Snoop knew me like that. Like my whole ins and outs of what I do off the field, with me having a school and my father, what he does. And I just didn't know that he, had that type of knowledge of who I was and what I do.
Now, Panthers left tackle Michael Orr, kind of a celebrity himself. If you remember, there was a movie made about his life called The Blind Side. He wasn't thrilled when that movie first came out, but he says he's warming up to the idea of the message that movie delivers.
It inspired so many people. It inspired a lot of people, motivated a lot of people. So, I have to realize that it's helping people, get out of certain situations. So, of course, I look at it a little different.
Now, the Panthers return to practice at San Jose State University, and they have one thing on their minds, winning Super Bowl 50, and they would love to do it for their owner, Jerry Richardson.
That's the real reason why I'm so excited to be in this position, because as a football player who's been given so much, it's something that you want to do for him. I want to be a part of the group, a part of the team that was able to give him that trophy and put a ring on his finger.
The Lombardi Trophy would be a feather in the cap of Jerry Richardson, who started the franchise back in 1995. He hoped to win a Super Bowl title within 10 years, came close in that 2003 season. Now he's hoping to get that trophy into the trophy case he said he had a spot designed for when he built Bank of America Stadium. We'll have a lot more on the Panthers and the fans who are now starting to come into town. That will be tonight on News Channel 12 at 5, 5:30, and 6. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the Panthers in Denver's now sequestered inside their hotel rooms as they get ready for the kickoff of Super Bowl 50 in about 2 days. The streets of San Francisco, well, they have come alive with all sorts of fans, including Panther fans who have traveled all the way from the East Coast.
Super Bowl 50, I'm super excited, and the energy's great, and I'm just ready to support the home team.
What's your family think of you coming out here?
Oh, they're excited. They wish they were here with me, and so they're super excited as well.
What brings you to San Francisco?
We're coming to see the Super Bowl.
Have you got your tickets?
We're working on them.
Why make this trip all the way cross country?
We're not sure they're going to be there again.
Yeah, it's been 12 years since the last one.
Yeah, we thought it was time.
Well, coming up on News Channel 12 at 10, we actually caught up with one man and his family who came from about as far east as you can, Ocracoke Island. Wait until you see that story a little bit later this evening. In San Francisco, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, this is the world-famous Lombard Street in San Francisco. All the curves, you see the cars coming down one of the windiest streets in America. We even saw some Panther fans well displayed on Lombard Street, but you didn't have to go around too many curves to find Panther fans from eastern North Carolina in San Francisco. We ran into a bunch.
Well, Brian, we had a contest at work at Coastal Beverage through Miller Coors, and we won first place in the state of North Carolina. All expense paid trip. Got here Friday afternoon and leaving Monday night.
What do you think of this crazy place?
This is unbelievable. I'm glad I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina, not San Francisco, California. But it's been a great visit. The people are really friendly.
I'll tell you, I've never been to California, and I don't know if I'd come back again. It was wonderful, but the fans have been great. Go Panthers.
It's been packed, though.
Yes, it has. A lot of people. Yes, it has.
Human gridlock, I've been calling it.
Yes, you're right on that. We can't wait till tomorrow to get on the field, but I do want to say hello to my family at home, my wife, my daughter, and my dog, Rosie. Miss you guys.
What's been the most fun for you so far?
Well, besides hanging with my son, who brought him up in sports and knows more about sports than I do, just hanging with him and, reliving some stuff through his eyes and just being his bud for a while.
Yeah, kind of father-son bonding in a unique way.
Yeah, it's been great. All this hype's been great, but the real deal's tomorrow on the field.
A planned trip to come out and kind of have a reunion with good friends, and we came to the Panthers last Super Bowl 12 years ago, and like you said, it's been a tough week in Eastern North Carolina, but it's time to be around good friends and to pull for these Panthers in the Super Bowl.
Well, Mayor Thomas and all the people from Eastern North Carolina here in San Francisco will be at the big game. It kicks off at 6:25 Eastern. We're going to hear from the Panthers about what they need to do to win the game. In San Francisco, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. The Carolina Panthers players had the day off from practice as they get ready for Super Bowl 50 to be played right here at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Now, head coach Ron Rivera a little worried about what they could possibly do during their off day, so he brought in a motivational speaker. He asked Panthers radio color analyst Eugene Robinson to talk to the team. Robinson, if you remember, played for the Atlanta Falcons and was arrested the night before Super Bowl 33. He was charged with solicitation of prostitution. Robinson says he still regrets every second of it.
I want my guys to know, because I love this team, that, hey, you got a great opportunity. Go ahead and seize the moment. And don't, in this respect, be like me. It was painful, man. I cried the entire night, that night. And I'm like, how did I get way over here when I was way over here? How did it get so far over there? Well, it's easy to lose your way when you're selfish and when you're thinking about yourself, and that's the only thing that you're thinking about. And that's what I did.
Robinson says he's back on the right path. He is still married to his wife of 30 years. He helps coach at a high school as well as doing his job as the Carolina Panthers color analyst. Now, one of the interesting stats that's coming out, EA Sports has been having their video game actually play the Super Bowl, and they've been right 9 of the last 11 years. Well, this year they have the Panthers beating the Denver Broncos 24-20. We'll see if it holds up. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, we are finally here. It is game day in Santa Clara, California. This is Levi Stadium. The Carolina Panthers ready to take on those Denver Broncos. We talked to the players earlier this week. They're just itching to go. They wanted to kick it off on Wednesday, but they talked about the keys to winning Super Bowl 50.
I think their front is solid. They do have two terrific outside pass rushers, but the thing you got to be concerned with is the guys that are inside as well. They do a nice job of penetrating, getting an inside push, and taking away the quarterback's ability to step into the throw. I think their linebackers got great vision and run very well, and they got defensive backs that are aggressive, and I think their strength is playing man coverage.
Well, this is the Panthers locker room. This is where they're getting ready, their last-minute preparations, the pep talk, and, of course, the game plan and how they're going to beat the Denver Broncos.
You got to play gap sound. They're good at what they do, and it's really who executes better. Is it us or is it them? You got to do your job against these guys. If your job is to be in a certain gap, be in that gap. If your job is to set the edge, and you can't play selfish in this against this offense, because what they do is try to stretch you out and hit a crease, and it's one crease
that makes them dangerous, and you got to make sure you're in your gap doing your job.
And this is the post-game interview area. This is where the Carolina Panthers will come and talk win or lose. And who knows, maybe it could be Graham Gano, the kicker, with a game-winning field goal. He says he's certainly ready.
It's fun. Looking forward to the opportunity. I don't think it's, if you get yourself wrapped up in the whole moment of it being the Super Bowl, I think you can get lost in it. But I mean, the way I see it, as soon as the whistle blows, it's just the same football game I've been playing for years.
The Big Cat, Jerry Richardson, is in the house. The 79-year-old owner of the Panthers, hoping his franchise wins its first ever Super Bowl title. We will be here all game long and get you all the post-game reaction coming up later tonight on News Channel 12 at 10 and 11. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12. Well, the Carolina Panthers were certainly the favorite going into the game, but when you turn the ball over 4 times and 2 of those Cam Newton fumbles turn into 14 points, well, that turns into a 24-10 loss and leaves the Carolina Panthers pretty disappointed with 17 wins, 2 losses, but one of them the last game of the year.
This is a big game. It's the golden game, the game that you dream about, and you don't dream about it going this way. You dream about winning it.
They won a game, and it's so gut-wrenching and hard to swallow that pill. And there's chances and opportunities there, and we just didn't capitalize on them.
When we were on, we were moving the ball. We had things going. We had a couple big plays that sparked us, and then it just seemed right when we had something going, critical error.
It wasn't nothing special that they did. We dropped balls, we turned the ball over, gave up sacks, threw errant passes.
We had a couple mistakes on special teams. Money man, Gano, he missed a field goal. He's always clutch. But like I said, defense, we didn't really get the job done like we usually do. We usually just come in and score on defense, and we didn't really do what we're supposed to do.
If we could have gotten our offense one more turnover, one more opportunity, you never know what could have happened. And, that's the one thing that we got to do. We got to continue to just keep working. If they beat us in the turnover ratio, and typically this season it hasn't been like that.
This feeling sucks. This is very hard-fought, game, and nobody's satisfied, definitely. So my mindset next year is to come back strong.
This is the same team that a couple years ago got beat in New York. So we have an opportunity to grow and learn from this experience, and we need to learn from this experience to give ourselves an opportunity to get back here.
Well, on paper, the Panthers look like they're certainly built for the future with guys like Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Josh Norman, all will be back, but this will be a different looking team next year. In this day and age of salary cap and free agency, a lot of parts will be moving in and out as the Panthers try and rebuild and try and make another run and try and win their first Super Bowl title in franchise history. In Santa Clara, California, covering Super Bowl 50, I'm Brian North for News Channel 12.